Okay, so good morning, good morning, good morning. It's happy Thursday. It is Thursday, December 12th, 2024, which is kind of neat. It's 12. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people that finds days like these really interesting. Not just like 12, 12, 11, 11, but it's like, yeah, it's 12, 12, 24. Is it as cool as 12, 12, 12? No, but 12 and 12 makes 24. So in its own way, it's still a really neat date. But anyways, there's a lot to talk about, so let me start with a thing I didn't write down because it happened yesterday, and I usually write these Wednesday morning. Let's talk about Survivor. We got one episode left because it's the finale, even though it's 2 episodes, and sure, dog, it's because they didn't do a double boot episode earlier in the season, and normally in the new era, they've been doing it at the, hey, I know we're merged, but what if we split into 2 tribes and both of y'all went to tribal council? Only one set went to tribal council. So here we get the double boot instead, which was Final 6, where I lost Andy, and Final 5, where I lost Genevieve. And like, look, I know Rachel's been my winner pick for the past few weeks, and I think Rachel's going to be a good winner. Quick pin in that. But I didn't want to lose Andy and Jen back to back before the final episode. Like, the Queen off was great and everything, but man, but I have to say, Andy talking his way out of the game the way he did of, hey, Rachel, I've been lying to you the entire time. Let me be honest with you for once. I am going to vote you out. And let me go ahead and, since you're about to be on the jury, let me pitch to you why I think I should win. And her going, you know, you're making you're more of a threat than I think you are. Let me just snipe you real quick. Like, everything about that was fucking perfect. As much as I really enjoyed Andy, like Andy being too confident, way too cocky, like, let me go ahead and pitch why I should win now at the final 6 instead of the final 3, kind of feels like peak Andy. And Rachel just sitting there going, yeah, I'm out, I'm gonna lose, so you're making your pitch to me as the jury right now, okay, so that way when I go to Ponderosa, I can tell everybody how great you are. Yeah, okay, makes sense. I just thinking to herself, I'm gonna be here tomorrow, idiot. It's like, it's kind of comedy gold. Sorry, like, I had a really good time with that. In addition, so let me go and take that pen out. I have seen now on, like, Twitter, and I don't know, it's probably on, like, Reddit and other places, too, people being like, I don't know, Rachel's been too reliant on immunity. I don't know if she's as good of a winner as people say. I mean, like, she'd be gone if she wasn't winning challenges or playing her idol. And that is the funniest fucking thing to me. I get it. Sometimes seeing someone win Survivor because they're they're dependent on advantages is not as fun. Because it doesn't feel like I'm watching someone play a very good, well-rounded game. I'm not seeing someone rely on their connections. I'm not seeing someone rely on their strategy. I'm seeing someone go, hey, I bet my toy can beat your toy. And that's not really what Survivor's about. Winning immunity challenges has always been an integral part of Survivor. And we have had winners who are incredibly dominant because they just weren't eligible to be voted out. Exhibit Tom Westman. I mean, look at, I haven't actually seen, what's it called? Worlds Apart. But my understanding is that that's essentially what happened to Mike. There was just kind of a point in the season where it was, all right, if he's vulnerable, he's out. So he just won every immunity. Or, like, look at the end of Nicaragua. It was, all right, when Fabio loses immunity, he's out. So he just kept winning immunity. There's nothing, like, look at Tony in Winners at War. Like, oh yeah, he was very dependent upon his advantages and, like, being able to, like, his idols and winning immunity. He won fucking 4. I've seen people discredit Tony in Winners at War, but that's more just because, like, all right, with the way the Edge of Extinction worked, there are people who would have voted for Michelle that didn't because they wanted to make sure an Edge person didn't win. I think it looks like Tony still would have won and probably wouldn't have won handily, but it was more dominant than it appeared, and also in a season where, in a season with returnees, there's also like pregame alliances, and that might have been what carried him as well, etc., etc. And that's, kind of its own thing. But I've never seen someone discredit Tony winning at Winners at War because he kept winning immunity. I think that's fucking stupid. What I see in Rachel is someone who, from early on in the merge, pinned, by the way, for someone else, but early on in the merge, people were saying she is a threat. She is a threat because she's very likable and she's very smart. And that is not something you want to be playing with in the merge, because when people are likable, you're more willing to work with them. You're more willing to listen to them. You're more willing to maybe let them slip a round or two more than they should. And if they're smart, they can leverage that likability and really fuck you over. Caroline saw that from a mile away. Genevieve saw that from a mile away. In addition to that, when her number has come up, she has locked in and clutched up. Operation Italy, so first it was with Kyle, where it's like, it's not that she was the target, but it's, this dude keeps winning immunity, someone needs to take it from him, and Rachel fucking did that shit. Operation Italy, she's the target. No, I want immunity. And then the next round, where she's the target, I'm gonna play my idol and save myself. Only one other person here knows I have it. Everyone else thinks I am gone, which means I can take out whoever I want. And like I said, like when it comes to advantages and relying on them, I'm not huge on that. I don't mind an idol play, though. It's like, no, that's been part of the game since what, Fiji, like season 14? No! Technically, I believe Guatemala was the first, where that's, I believe that was Gary, the landscaper, who was the first person to find a hidden immunity idol. However, that was, you play it before the votes are cast. I think the classic idol where you play it before the votes are read was in Fiji. But the idol's been part of the game for a very, very long time. So if someone has to play idols like every round, then it gets like, I don't know, but like one idol play, maybe two, I don't mind that at all. I think Rachel will be a very good winner. I've been thinking for the past like month or so that like I think she's going to win the season. Here's the thing though. I don't know if she is. And the reason I say that is just, this finale feels weird as 2 episodes. Like, this very much, as I've kind of heard people say, it's like, this episode feels like it's Rachel's coronation. Like, she is the winner. It's no question she was vulnerable, but turns out she wasn't. And then she was vulnerable again, and she clutched up and won immunity. And she got rid of someone that she thought was a genuine threat, and then kind of got rid of her nemesis. So, what's going to happen in the next episode? Because, like, all right, if she wins immunity, well, she's in the final 3, and she doesn't sweep. I think if Sam is there, I think Sierra's going to vote for Sam kind of no matter what. If Sue is there, I think Caroline is going to vote for Sue kind of no matter what. I don't know about Gabe. I think Gabe is probably leaning towards Sue, but could maybe be convinced for someone else. And I don't know, maybe Soul is kind of leaning teeny, but I'm not as sure about that one. I don't think Rachel sweeps, but I think no matter who she sits next to, she's winning, and she's winning handily. If she wins fire, same shit. It's, yeah, I got here at the end. I won like 3 immunity challenges, had a big idol play. Anytime I was targeted, I was able to get out of it. There is the advantage that she got from Soul. And you can make a genuine argument. It's like, look, she shouldn't have even made the merge because of that. And I can see that, but I can also argue in her favor that the reason she got out of that is because her social game was so good. Because she was able to make a bond with someone and a connection with someone, and that someone said, cool, I want to save you. Yes, she had to rely on an advantage to get out of there, but it was the social game that really pulled through as well. And I find that really interesting. But anyways, point. Sorry, I forgot where I was going with all that. Anyways, sorry, I know what I'm trying to say now. If the finale was 1 episode, it would feel like, yeah, this is Rachel winning, got rid of this person, she's about to smooth sail. It being broken up feels weird. Like, almost like we're missing something. And it does make me wonder, does Rachel lose fire? And then we actually get a final 3 of Sam, Sue, and Teenie. This is kind of a deep pull, but there was a season of The Amazing Race years ago, and I feel like I've maybe brought it up before, where there was this one team. Sorry, there's like a squirrel down there. He distracted me a bit. There was this team, I believe their names were Andy and Tommy, and they were the snowboarders. And I remember in that season, they dominated. Like, they were almost always consistently team number one, team number one, team number one, team number one. And they did not make the finale. And it was like they had gotten confused, like they had a huge lead, and then they got confused and went the wrong way. And the other teams did the same shit. But the other team's cab drivers all knew each other and, like, talked to each other and colluded. Not that the players were like, hey, let's fuck over the snowboard. It just kind of happened that way. But it felt like, man, this is a season where the most dominant team just didn't make the end. And I remember still enjoying the finale, but the finale felt so much less as a result. And that's kind of how I would feel about this final 3. I've said before, it's like, I just haven't been a fan of Sue. It's like, look, I've never met any of these people. I'm only seeing what I'm seeing on the TV. And Sue seems, like, perfectly fine. One thing I do really like about her is she's very clear. It's like, no, like, if someone's cool with me, I am very loyal to them, which is something I like and really respect. It's also just, fuck you, Kyle. Like, I kind of get it, but also, what the hell? But everything with her and Caroline is actually just super sweet, and I love it. But Sue hasn't really done a lot in the game. Like, all right, has she done a lot of immunity stuff? No. Has she been, like, this big strategic force? No. Do we see, like, all the bonds she has with the other players? No. Does she have this, like, great storyline going? No, it was really just Kyle. But, okay, I don't really think Sue's gonna do super well in Final Tribal. Again, I think she's got Caroline's vote for sure. I think she might very well have Gabe, but I don't see her winning. Then you have Teenie, who, for a good chunk of the season, I enjoyed. And it really was the Operation Italy episode where I was like, I don't know, this, like, I get it. And I'm not going to be like, oh man, I hate you as a person now, because that's not the case at all. But I'm like, you're not really my favorite anymore. And in this episode, in that last tribal, Teenie tanked their game. By saying, for all intents and purposes, sorry, that's a big ass crow. Anyways, Teenie, for all intents and purposes, said, I don't know what the fuck is going on in this game. Like, remember that episode in 46 where Q's like, if I can't find you in hide and seek, I can't find you in this game? Teenie apparently has not been able to find the game. As they had said, it's like, I've been duped every single time. Genevieve has gotten the best of me every single time. I'm now realizing I have not had a clue about what is going on throughout the entire game. And then basically says that at Tribal in front of the jury. And I don't want to say that's a game-losing mistake, because I'm going to be honest, I, at this point, don't think Teenie had much of a chance anyway. But whatever chance Teenie may have had, by saying in front of the jury, yeah, I just haven't known what the fuck is going on, I'm just kinda here, is not a good sign, is not a good look. Again, like, maybe Saul, because they were really close, could give them a vote. Maybe, if their social game is kind of better than I think it is, they could get some extra votes. Maybe they could somehow pull out a win. But I don't think so. In a final tribal of Teenie, Sue, and Sam, I think Sam takes it. I'm going to take that pin out. During the merge, and I think it was like when they first all got together, so like they're not merged yet, whatever. They're all living on the same fucking beach. They're one tribe. Someone, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Rome. It might have been Soul. Maybe it was Teenie. But there was someone who had essentially said, we need to get out Sam, because if Sam gets to the end, he wins. he wins because, I mean, just like, have you talked to the dude? Like, he's just so likable. He's just so charming. He is a threat. And it's something that's been talked about throughout the season, that Sam's a threat, Sam's a threat, Sam's a threat. And I honestly kind of forgot why. Because it just seemed like, okay, he's a threat because he's a tall, handsome dude that could maybe do well in challenges. And I was like, I mean, I guess he's like a big dude, so he could be good in challenges, but he keeps not winning those or doing too well in them. So I don't know. He doesn't really seem like it. And then I kind of remembered, it's like, no, the reason people said he was a threat is because he's likable and he's charming. And that's not the person you want to sit next to in Final Tribal. And I thought about that, and I thought about what happened at the Final Five. Genevieve got booted because Sam told everyone her idol's fake. Because I know if I don't tell them that, I'm going home. And I love Jen. We're really close. That's my homie. But it's her or me, and it needs to be her. Getting rid of Genevieve, one of the biggest threats in the game, is Sam's move. And it is kind of funny to me that as much as Teeny's like, I can finally get one over on Genevieve. She's betrayed me. She's lied to me. Now I can send her home. She actually doesn't write her name down. And I do get it. It's like, just in case the idol's real, someone needs to throw a vote on Sam. Makes total sense. But it is just really funny that, like, after all that, she still didn't end up voting Genevieve out. But anyway, sorry. It is like, that's Sam's move, and that's something he can point to. Operation Italy might be more Andy's move, but it was a trio, and all three of them were required for that. And he's the only surviving member left of Operation Italy. One thing I know he could be able to say to Saul is like, I actually tried to save you. And I don't know if that would like actually make Saul vote for him, but he could say like, yeah, I heard about the plan. Rachel knew. She had no intention of saving you. I was kind of, she didn't even tell me who it was. I was just able to piece it together. And as soon as I learned that, I tried to do something. Because that is the one thing of those three other players. Sam can say, I didn't just sit on my laurels. I actively tried to do shit. When I heard it was Saul, I tried to do something about it. When Operation Italy was an option, I did everything I could for it. When it was me and Genevieve, I said Genevieve. I did shit to survive, and I did shit to further my game and take out some of the bigger threats. I think Rachel, Sam, and either Teeny or Sue, I think Rachel still wins. But there's a non-zero chance that Rachel goes out in fire and Sam comes out victorious. Now, that might also depend on who takes her out in fire. They've been talking for a bit about how Teeny's like, I'm terrible at fire, I'm terrible at fire. So if they go to fire and beat Rachel, that could be, that last-ditch impression that they need to win the game and make some jury votes. If it's Sue that takes out Rachel, like I said, I think she's already got Caroline, a good chance of getting Gabe. If she can also take out Rachel, maybe that really does up her stock and maybe she could pull out a win. I think if Sam wins immunity, gives it up, I feel like Sue would do the same thing. With Teeny talking about how bad they are at fire, Teeny might win immunity and then say, I'm going to trust Sam or Sue to take out Rachel. Which would be interesting because Teeny would essentially just be the kingmaker at that point. Be like, okay, if I'm not doing it and I'm giving up, if I'm sending Sue or Sam to take out Rachel, if they lose, Rachel wins. If Rachel loses, I might just be making the winner. I don't know. Maybe not. But it is kind of interesting to think about. But yeah, I think if Sam beats Rachel in fire, he gets a slam dunk win in Final Tribal. But also, I might just be needlessly speculating and Rachel waltzes into Final Tribal and is like, cool, this was easy. But I know, I say it every time. I thought 40 Several was kind of boring the first few episodes. It wasn't clicking. I'm like, this is probably my favorite season of the new era. I still like 42 a lot, and 46 is so damn fun. Like, I was talking to Jose and Clay yesterday, and something Jose had suggested is maybe what we should do is during the new year, each of us, like, picks a show, and the three of us watch it together. I'm very tempted to nominate season 46 because of how much of just a weird buster cluck it was. Like, I have my problems with the Bonu show, but it's still fascinating to watch. And then you get everything with Q. You get idle in your pocket, idle in your pocket, idle in your pocket, idle in your pocket. And honestly, I think a really good final tribal. Personally, I was pulling for Charlie, but also personally, I thought Kenzie was going to take it. And what I really like about that final tribal is how close it was. Like, it was, what was it, like 4-3 or 5-3? Like, it was whatever it was. Like, there was a 1 vote difference, but not a tie. And you could really see the jury as it's going on almost kind of be like, Charlie's not much of a big deal. Kenzie's easily taking this, and going, wait a second. He played a way better game than I thought he did. Oh, I don't know which of these two I should vote for now. And the votes kind of reflected that. And then the shit with Maria, which is just, ooh, man. Like, just what a season. Like, as much as I'm saying 40 Several's amazing, it is. I think I maybe like 46 a little bit more. Just, I remember seeing a comment about 46. And the comment was essentially, this is one of the only casts of Survivor where I would deadass just like to run it back. Like, just everyone back together. Let's just do this season again. I'm like, would I say that about 40 Several? Probably, because I've enjoyed this cast a lot. But 46 was just this perfect storm of madness. Like, we had Jelinski. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's such a good season. But anyways, that was, 20 minutes of just talking about Survivor. Okay, let's go as we go. I meant to say this last week, and I wrote it down, but I wasn't looking at my notes, and I forgot. I have to talk about Whamageddon. If you're not familiar with Whamageddon, maybe I did say this, and I don't remember. Anyways, just in case. It is a game you play from December 1st to Christmas Day, where you try to go the December holiday season without listening to Last Christmas by Wham. Listening to covers don't count. So if I were to just start singing Last Christmas, I don't think I'm gonna. Doesn't count. It has to actually be by Wham. The last few years, I've actually been really good with Whamageddon. And then, dead ass, like December 1st, I'm just on Instagram looking through shit, and I just hear Last Christmas in the background of a reel. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I got Whamageddon! Why? And then like 2 days later, it was on the radio. I'm like, okay, like I've been double whammy. I got double whammied, man. But I don't know, I think Whamageddon is just fun, goofy shit, so I wanted to bring it up. So, housekeeping video stuff, which I probably should have started with. I really want to talk about Survivor. So, the Wukong tier lists are done. They're uploaded, and Wyatt and I had a great time with it. Something we said at the end of the video is, it sounds like we kind of want to do more stuff like this, and I think what my understanding of the conversation is, like, neither of us have started Metaphor yet. We're probably going to start that soon-ish, and it sounds like what kind of Wyatt wants to do is anytime we finish a dungeon, do a video talking about that part of the game. So we're making content about the game as we're playing it, so it's also still fresh in our minds. And it's like, if that's how I'm understanding it, that sounds awesome. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I don't know what other stuff like that we would do. Like, maybe we can do it with shows as well. Maybe we'll just do it with games. But that sounds really fun. Believe it or not, like, I love doing videos with my friends. I have a really good time with that. I do them solo all the time, but it's always nice to have someone riding shotgun. Speaking of which, not speaking of shotguns, but speaking of having someone with me, Chris and I haven't done an NFL video since week 10, so I think either before Sunday or after this next slate of games, we'll do the next one. Our friend Billy, Pin and Billy, I don't remember if I said this last week, I might have, but Pin and him, he's going to be coming down this weekend. I believe he'll be here Saturday. There's a non-zero chance we could get Billy to do our football video with us. So we might hold out yeah. I was trying to say hold out and hold off. Hold off makes more sense. Or we might hold off a little bit, like wait for the next slate of games, just for Billy to be on it, have time. But if he wants to do it Saturday, maybe we'll do it Saturday. I don't know. So taking the pin out, I don't remember if I said this or not, but Billy said he's down to watch Guilty Crown with me. So I haven't started it yet. I'm hopeful that either Saturday or Sunday I'm hoping I can get Guilty Crown done. That's not something I normally say. That's not something I should say. It's not a healthy mindset. But I think there's hopefully a strong non-zero chance we can start it this week. I doubt we're going to finish it because it's 24 episodes. We can do it in 2 days. It's also Guilty Crown. That's a lot for 2 days, but I don't know. What I would like to do is 6 episodes Saturday, 6 on Sunday, 6 on Monday, 6 on Tuesday. And that way it's done and I have plenty of time to ruminate on the madness before the Christmas video. But, yeah, so I think that's it for that. But I do want to go back to Wukong for a second because they released an update for the game. And it's like the worst possible fucking timing because like, all right, we made a tier list where we talked about all the bosses and then they added a thing for like boss refights. And I'm like, if that had come out beforehand, I totally would have done that just to refamiliarize myself with a lot of the fights. So that way I could have had more to say. And then why it's like, yeah, I honestly would have done the same shit. It's a really cool thing. I'm not mad that boss refights are now in the game. That's so fucking cool. And it's just like, if this had come out like a week or two before, that would have been perfect. But what is really funny to me is I've complained that the game doesn't have maps. I've complained about it in these videos. I talked about it in the fucking tier list. So like, I really like this game. Why the fuck were there not maps? Especially in Chapter 6. What the hell? They added it. I'm like, okay. I know this isn't what happened because there's no way this is actually what happened. But it's really funny to me. It's almost like, oh shit. JJNW and Wyatt made their tier list about the bosses and then complained about maps. We gotta go ahead and add that shit now. Like, the timing of it is so fucking funny in that regard. But, yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really have to say. I think I heard that they're gonna do DLC, and I don't know if that's what this is. It's just the patch, or if it's like, no, we're gonna, like, put new shit in the game. I don't know what they're gonna add if they do, but I'll probably play it, because I really enjoyed the game. I had my problems with it, but now they have maps, so that's one of my big problems that might be taken care of. Hell yeah. So, I guess speaking of projects with people, Jose and I did finish KH1. I believe I said that last week, like we finished End of the World. We finished it. We did Kurt Ziza, Phantom, Hades Cup, Ice Titan, Sephiroth, Xemnas, got Ultima Weapon. Not all in that order. Got to 99. Did all the shit that we genuinely wanted to do. And I think there's still other achievements, like all the random crap in the gummy ship. There's an achievement for beating the game without continuing, and also one if you beat it in like under 15 hours. So it's all right. Easy mode, skip all cutscenes, and let's make sure we never die. Also, beating the game in under 15 hours is a lot easier than I think it is. In addition to you can skip cutscenes and you're on easy, realizing how much of the game is actually optional. You're like, okay, well, we don't have to do the Coliseum. We don't have to do... we don't even have to fight Opposite Armor. We can just leave. Don't have to do Atlantica. Could just do Halloween Town. Okay, now, Neverland, Bastion, blah, blah, blah. But, like, yeah, you don't have to do the second Parasite Cage fight in Monstro. Like, you can skip a pretty decent amount of the game. All right, that's speedrun, I guess. I don't know if we're actually going to do that, and I don't know when we're going to start Rechain. Jose is kind of like, I want to give it a shot, but I don't really want to play it, so we'll get to it when we get to it. So I would assume sometime in January, maybe even February, but that's how that is. I have to talk about the Saints. So oh right, I actually wanted to show off the shirt I was wearing. I completely forgot because it's cold. It doesn't fit super well. This is the Patronus' Pikachu shirt. I just realized. Oh wait, no, I'm still wearing the jacket. Anyways, oh sorry. Let me talk about the Saints real quick. The Saints can still make the playoffs. They can still win the division. We're, I think, in terms of numbers, 1 game behind Atlanta because we're at 5. They're at 6. 2 games behind Tampa because we're at 5. They're at 7. We also play Tampa again. So if you want to hypothetically say we win that game, then we're really only 1 game behind Tampa. Here's the thing, though. Like, I crunched the numbers. I did, like, a playoff predictor. It's like, okay, if this game goes this way, this game goes this way. There is a chance the Saints can win if they win out, which also includes beating Washington and beating Green Bay. I don't know. And, like, now Carr's injured. And even with Derek Carr, it's not like the team is great. Without Derek Carr, I don't think we're going to do shit. But theoretically, we can. There's a lot of scenarios where even if the Saints win out and finish like 9-8, the Bucks or Falcons still win the division on tiebreakers. Can I have hope? Sure. Should I? No. No. But like, as much as I don't want to, I still can, which means I have to, until it's official, until our names are written down in the death note. I have to believe. I have to wait and hope, even if at this point I don't really want to. I just hope the Bucks win the division because it means the Falcons don't. Like, I kind of realized last weekend when the Falcons got their asses kicked by the Vikings and the Saints barely beat the Giants, I'm like, I think I take more joy in the Falcons losing than the Saints winning. That's where we're at now. That's a great sign. But I do think it's pretty funny. I've had a lot of my Christmas shopping done. I still have, I talked to a couple friends and they're like, I don't want you to get me anything. Which on the one hand makes me go, all right, well, that's easy. Thanks. And another part of me that goes, I still kind of want to. Not in a way where I'm like, okay, if you're saying you don't want anything, it means you do. It's just like, no, taking it at face value. But I'm still like, there are like friends I hang out with a lot. I would like to get them something. But they said no. So I think tentatively, I'm not going to look for anything. But if I find something, I will. And with a lot of my other friends, I've like, okay, this is what I'm going to get you, boom, this is what I'm going to get you, boom. A lot of them are, like, kind of on the way. So, yeah, I don't think I have really anything to say about that. It's nice to be able to get a lot of my Christmas shopping done. I've already booked my gift for myself, which I was like, I don't really, like, what should I get for me? And then I went, oh, right, I haven't had a massage in, like, since mid-October. Fuck it, let me just get a massage. That was really nice. It was something I had thought about as maybe I should make this a regular thing, or like I get a massage like once a month and just relax, release the stress. And honestly, like November was so nice. I kind of didn't need one. Like there were some other stresses and whatnot, but for the most part, I was like, kids, didn't really need one. And it's not like I've really needed one in December either. It's been nice. But so is having a massage. So I booked it. I'm going to have it on Tuesday morning. I'm pretty looking forward to it. In terms of writing, so with Orichalcum, it's everything has been drafted, and the 3rd act has been reviewed and revised. So there's still a couple chapters in the 2nd act that I want Clay to look at. It's like, this is the guy who knows the story better than anyone else except me. What your opinion on these? Okay, then I'll make any revisions necessary. Yesterday, I started going back, like starting with chapter 1. I didn't get through it because it's kind of a lot of shit piling up yesterday. But really what it is now, it's like, okay, like we'll do those 3 chapters in the middle, and we can do those 3 chapters in the middle, but let's just read through it. And like, what are some parts where the prose seems a little weird or a little wonky? What are some parts that seem not as consistent, or it's like, hey, I feel like there should be another sentence here. Boom. Just the moments where part of it is me as the writer going like, hey, like, this does not fit with the lore as much as it should anymore, so let me change it. But also those points where I, as the reader, go, feels like there should be another sentence here. It's like, oh, that didn't sound quite right, and tinkering those. I want to do one full pass of that. Because I've already done a pass of the novel as I was rewriting it and making those edits. Make one final pass, and then say, okay, now I'm going to send it out. I have no idea how long it's going to take. The novel's like 370 pages. There's a non-zero amount to go at, like, to look at. I think in terms of words, it's like 98,000, I think. It's either like just above 98 or like just below 98. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not really looking to cut. I cut a lot already, which was more of, cool, this is book 2 now, because it's in my head, that's kind of how it's supposed to be anyways. Like, I could definitely probably, like, do some trimming, but I don't really know what I would want to cut. And again, like, as I'm looking through it, if I'm like, okay, no, this can be cut, like, we'll go as we go. But, I would like to have that done by the end of December. What's the, I said already, the 12, 24. We're about halfway through December. I don't know if I'm going to finish all that in December, but I'd like to get some good progress on it done, and then hopefully in January, get that done, and then finally actually get back onto Severance like I've been saying for months, which would be nice. And that's pretty much it. I think the only other thing to say... How much time? We're at 30 minutes. Okay. The only other thing I think that I can say is, I had said this a while ago, that I have this friend that I met. And... Sorry, I just realized how silly that sounded. Yeah, so I have this friend, and they're a person I met. Oh, do tell. Were you also born at a very young age? But I talked about there's this friend that I met online that I actually really like. And at some point, kind of near the end of October / start of November, it was around that area, I kind of realized to myself, I love this person. And I'm not going to go super into all the details and stuff, but I was like, I love this person. And I told them. And like I said, this is someone I met online, so it's not like we had a face-to-face conversation. So I had to wait a while. And I don't remember if I said this previously. I think I did, or it's something I like told to a friend of mine. I'm like, so... I was kind of in this weird limbo where I'm like, you know what, kind of any moment I could get a message that might be the best news I have heard all year. Or I might get a message that'll completely break my heart. Or I might get something kind of in between that's not really one way or the other. And I guess we'll see. And it did take a while, but I did hear back from her. And it's genuinely, like, knowing her and her situation, things she's going through, it makes sense that it took a while. Like, it's, would I have liked to have heard back sooner? Of course, but no rush. Like, I get it. And, again, don't want to go into details. It's still, like, a private conversation. The short version is... she did not tell me that she feels the same way. But she also didn't tell me. Like, I was not rejected, which is nice. Like, we take that. It was the vibe that I got from our conversation, because she didn't address that directly, but she did kind of address some other things, is that she understands how I feel, and she very much appreciates the way that I show it. And to me, she is receptive to my feelings, which to me is very important. It's like I've said, I think I said this previously, like, I like her a lot. I really care about her. My feelings and my friendship are not conditional on that being reciprocated. If she just wants to be friends, we're just friends. It means I do get a really cool friend. If she does reciprocate, then hey, all the better. Like, I'm not gonna say no to having a really cool girlfriend, you know? But, it's important to me that, and like, I guess, worst case scenario would be like, no, you're a weirdo and a piece of shit and I don't like you, which is not at all what happened, which is great. So we're not in worst case scenario territory. I guess, like, at the very least, I want her to understand how I feel, and I want her to feel loved, even if that's not reciprocated. And at the very least, it seems like that's where we're at. She is receptive. Is she reciprocal? I don't know. It could very well be that she didn't tell me that she feels the same way, because guess what? She doesn't. And it is what it is. There's also a chance that she does, but for whatever reason, and I won't go into any like detailed speculation on that kind of thing, but it's maybe she does, but she's not ready to move forward, and that's also understandable. You know, says it right there in 1 Corinthians, and 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind. Have to be patient. And if the answer's no, the answer's no. But if the answer is not yet, then have to be patient. But that's where that is. That was honestly just like a really nice conversation that we had like last week. That's basically been my week. Also, my hands are like really cold. I start work in like an hour, and I've got some things I need to go ahead and do. Like, talking about Christmas presents, one got delivered yesterday and I couldn't find it, which is not a good sign. I'm like, I don't think, but also, like, given where that house is, I'm like, I genuinely don't think someone like porch napped it. I think it was just dark and I couldn't see shit. So I'm gonna head out real quick, try to get that done, and then scurry off to work. Y'all have a good day.